welcome back to another episode of Happiness Matters, the show with me, Beanie Man, and this guy here, Mr. Mo, the service dog. And today, I have an awesome guest here, and we just met a couple months ago, Angel Tuccy. Did I get that right?
You did.
Yes. And Angel was actually the keynote speaker for the Southern Colorado Women's Chamber of Luncheon in June, I believe.
I believe it was in June.
Yes. Yeah. And I was like, oh. So, so of course it's like, oh, would you like to be on my show?
Absolutely.
So, and here we are.
Yes,
and
right, you put it out there and there it happened.
Yes, and boy did it happen, thanks to you. So I put it out that I'm looking for guests, and Angel, she shared it to her personal thing, and messaged me, it's like, is it okay if I share it to my group? Sure, why not? Bam! Within less than 2 days, I'm booked with guests to record through August. So
thrilled.
Thank you.
You are so
thank
welcome.
you. And I'm excited to hear some of the stories because I asked people what you want to talk about, you know, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait for some of them. It's like, oh, that's gonna be so cool.
and not an accident that it all came together.
I don't believe in accidents and coincidences and any of that. It's back. Not everybody's a dog person, dude.
No, if I touch you, my eyes start to
Mo,
swell up.
come over here. This time you go over here. Anyway. So welcome, and I'm glad you're here. You came all the way down from another part of Colorado.
Right, it took me almost an hour and a half to drive down here. You are far.
Well, yeah, I don't live on the north side of Colorado Springs. I live like on the very south side of Colorado Springs. So
it's beautiful though.
It is.
And it was a beautiful drive.
And what's nice is it's like poof, you're on the interstate.
Yes. Yes.
So it's fairly easy. So anyway, so we talked a little bit about your story, and tell us a little bit, you know. So you said your mom was very, very young when she had you. So share us a little bit and what got you from super shy and timid to international speaker. That just like,
ooh, poof. It kind of blows my mind as well. So, I mean, currently I am traveling internationally as a public speaker.
Nice.
In this last year, I've spoke on 100 stages. I've been in 45 different cities. I've spoken in London, in the Bahamas, in Canada, in Mexico.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's been fabulous. But I didn't start out that way. As I shared with you, my mom was 15.
Wow.
When she had me. In fact, I was born.
And I thought my mother was young. She was 17.
Yeah, I was born 5 days after she turned 15.
Wow.
So,
happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, in fact, July is birthday. We have birthday week. It's my mom's birthday. 3 days later, it's my twin daughter's birthday, and then my birthday. So within 5 days, all four of us have our birthdays.
Party all month long.
All month long. My girls were born 12 weeks early, so we didn't expect to have July birthdays. But my mom was 15, and so of course all the challenges that come in 1970 with a woman, a child, and I'm told regularly that they offered her a different decision that she chose not to take.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful that she chose to keep
me. Too.
Right? It worked out. But having a mom who's 15 years older than you.
It's like having a sister.
We grew up together. We grew up together. She met a wonderful man when I was 6. He adopted me and my brother.
Nice.
One of the earliest childhood memories that I have of my mom is, my brother's father abandoning us, and my mom sitting out on the lawn with her luggage, me and my brother, and her crying.
Oh wow.
And so
that's hard for a little kid.
Right? And I can recall that.
Oh yeah, I guess that's traumatic.
And so I'm on a board now that serves homeless moms.
Oh nice.
And it's a big piece, but my mom was a trooper. She met a wonderful man, so my brother and I are adopted, and so it's gone to be a wonderful life because he was in the Navy, and so he provided her with security and stability, ish. Ish, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
In the military, we moved almost every year.
That is just crazy. I mean, I heard like every couple of years, but every year. See, my husband is a Navy brat, actually.
Is he?
Fun fact, yeah. But I don't think they moved every year.
It was a lot. It was a lot, and I never finished a school year that I started. I was always either the new kid coming in, because the school year had already started,
right,
or I left before the year ended, and so I never had very many friends. And never stayed in touch with friends. I don't have any childhood
well, because
friends.
you don't have enough time to really build that bond, because you also in the back of your head, it's like, what's the point? I'm leaving anyway.
Right, and and we lived in Navy housing a lot of the times, and what's nice about that is the other kids there are also military kids who are in and out. So it's almost like having cousins. So you have somebody to hang out with and that gets it.
Right.
But there's just, there wasn't necessarily any point of connecting.
Exactly, and that's what I like with the military. It's like no matter where you go, it's like instant family.
Yes.
You know, and especially for kids, because kids connect so much faster than adults anyway. But it's like instant because they all get it.
They do.
They all get it without any question, and it's like, hey, so this is where you should go and hang out, and this is where we better stay away from, and they give the new kids the download, and it's not always great, but
well, and it's
but
not
I mean,
weird.
for the parent side, it's not always great.
Right, that's true. But it's not weird for us to have somebody new showing up.
No.
Right, because of course your dad just came in, right? You're new. Whereas in the traditional schools, they have their.
Well, they start out in kindergarten and then they stay together through high school.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. And military is just not.
Yes, exactly. Not. So super shy growing up. Always just very shy and very embarrassed, very uncomfortable speaking. In fact, when I was in high school, one of the senior classes I had to take was a public speaking class. And my public speaker teacher really wanted to fail me. I was
that's lovely.
Miserable wreck, but he felt sorry for me and so gave me the passing D. But I was,
I'm not so sure that's a good thing to just, but I mean, sadly that happens a lot of times, so they're just pushing kids through.
There was no saving me. I couldn't.
Did you get like the dry heaves and, the stuff we see on TV?
All of it.
Oh, wow.
All of it. Shaking, nervous, can't complete a sentence, and just absolutely out of, my body just, wouldn't allow for that. And which was fine.
That's like sheer terror.
Right?
That is sheer terror.
It was absolutely. So behind the scenes, that's all right. I decided, I was a very good office support, admin support. Give me some file folders and sticky notes, and I'm good to go.
I'm the girl.
I was the girl. I ended up working for the PGA for a while, and I remember thinking that, my idea of success, my marker for success would be when I could hire my own assistant, because I was always the assistant.
Right.
Someday I'm gonna.
That's a great marker. So for all your entrepreneurs out there, if you don't quite know yet what your marker should be to see, it's like, yeah, I made it. Getting that assistant is a really, really good thing.
Absolutely. You've got somebody coming in
yes,
today.
I do.
Right?
Yes.
Having support and help that balances you out. And I'll tell you, for those that are not super organized and detailed, there are a group of us that just eat that up. Like, let me put things in order, and let me clean up, and let me put things away.
And people like me love you guys, because I'm totally the big picture. I have the end result.
Right, but if I can help you get there, you stay in your lane, you stay in your genius, and let me put all the other pieces.
And you will be my new hero.
Yes,
exactly.
It works out very well.
It's awesome how that works, so yeah.
Yeah, so several years ago, I was hired by a professional speaker. He traveled the world, and I was his admin.
How awesome is that?
Right? I booked all of his bookings, but one of the things he had me do was help him get, gigs booked. And his previous assistant did cold calling. So, smiling and dialing.
Yeah,
well,
that's the one thing I know.
After an hour, thought, what a complete waste of time.
It is a complete waste of time.
It just felt like I was leaving voice messages that I knew were never going to be returned. I wasn't making any progress. And so I set out, I had this personal mission to figure out marketing.
Good
and how do we do that? One of the first things we did was join our local Chamber of Commerce.
That's a good one.
It is a very good one. So I love the local chambers of commerce.
And it's easy when your area only has one chamber of commerce.
Yes.
Colorado Springs, I don't even know how many we have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have the Colorado Springs Chamber and EDC.
Okay.
That's like I think that was the main one that started.
Okay.
And then we have a Black Chamber of Commerce. We have a Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We have the Southern Colorado Women's Chamber of Commerce.
Wow.
Then the neighboring town Fountain has one. Tri-Lakes has one up there, Monument, that whole area. I mean, there's a bunch. And then there's another group here, which is actually a really good group. It's the Colorado Springs Black Business Network.
Well,
and they're functioning like a chamber. I mean, there's so many, and it's like, and then of course we have all kinds of other network. I mean, in this town, and I don't know how it is up north, but in this town you can really network 24/7.
I just met a gentleman. I was in Texas and met a guy who runs a networking group here in Colorado Springs. Every single month he does an event, and I'm sure. I mean, it is a thriving business community.
Oh, it is absolutely phenomenal. But it's like, pick where you go network, where you spend your time, because they're not all created equal.
True.
And I learned. I mean, I've been networking in this town since we moved here 10 years ago, and I did the networking thing wrong because I never learned. And I did it so wrong for the longest time, until I got a clue. Now I have a Lola in my life too. But Lola is the president and CEO of the Women's Chamber of Commerce. So side note here.
Just a little plug for the Southern Colorado Women's Chamber of Commerce. Like, they are a thriving group.
Yes.
I speak to a lot of chambers across the country, and of course I got my start in the Denver Metro Chamber, but or South Metro Denver Chamber of Commerce.
One of those.
Right? But it is a thriving group.
Yes, it is. It's amazing. And I joined actually this month, 2 years ago.
Okay.
And it's because of the Women's Chamber, and because of the people, and because of the support. To me, it was a really crucial part for me to have the guts to walk away from everything that, shoulding myself thing.
Yes.
And stepping into me.
Yes.
And because I knew it's like, I can do this. Because everybody there's like, how can I help you? How can I help you? And it's not, I mean, a couple life coaches in the chamber, they threw me a liberation party.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Right?
I love that.
So this is how this came about. It was just so fun. So April 1st was a Sunday last year. That's when I made the decision. I'm so done with all that stuff, and I want to do me with purpose on purpose. Mo, come over here. Mo, over here. With purpose on purpose, right? And so I said, I quit being a mortgage loan officer, and now I do this. And I met with a friend, so that was Sunday. I think Tuesday or Thursday. I think it was Thursday. What was yesterday?
Yesterday was
Tuesday. Okay, so it was Tuesday. Because I think they meet when they meet, they do it Tuesday. So I met with her in the afternoon, and she said, oh, I got to go. There's a networking thing I need to go to. You should come. I'll introduce you. I'm like, all right, what's the group? And I love this group. Just the name, it's Women Who Get Stuff Done.
Brilliant.
Right?
Brilliant.
Right? So I said, not right. Might as well go. So, and then she introduced me, and she said, and this is Beanie Man, and she just quit as a mortgage loan officer. That word quit, it struck a chord in me. I was like, and this is me, it's like, excuse me, I did not quit. Of course, she looks at me all confused.
She's like,
it's like, what do you mean? We just talked.
You just said you quit.
You just, right, exactly. It's like, what the heck? What the fire truck, right? And I laughed, and she said, what do you mean I didn't quit? I said, I did not quit. I liberated myself.
I like that. It's funny.
But that's how that came about, then.
So then you get a liberation party.
And then they threw me, but I never had an organization in any networking group where people in my field, and I mean with the coaching, life coach, whatever you want to call it, where people in the same business support me. It's usually, well, you're the competition, you're the enemy, I cannot talk to you, because if I talk to you, you're going to steal my clients.
Right.
No! Right. There's enough for everybody. Stop that, guys.
Yeah,
so for them to throw me this liberation party, I was like,
yes.
Oh, come here. She's a little allergic. You cannot hang out over there. You hang out with me.
So we're on the same trajectory.
Yeah.
Last April, well, last March 15th, I'd been a radio host. I'd been broadcasting for 10 years.
That is awesome.
I was hosting two-hour shows, so 4 hours. So I did a 2-hour business talk show, and then I did a 2-hour Christian lifestyle show. So they were back-to-back, 6-minute turnaround, change studios, the whole thing. So I was.
Fortunately, with radio, you don't have to change clothes.
I didn't have to change clothes. Right? But March 15th, went into the studio, and was all set up to do the programming for 2 back-to-back shows, 4 hours of broadcasting. Had a client had flown in from Miami to be a guest on one of the shows. We were getting him all set up in the studio, and they pull me and my co-host out and say, "We've made a change." And 5 minutes later, me and my cardboard box, my disco ball that I would put up every Friday in the studio, and my client were being escorted out of the building because I was taken off the air. And at no notice, 10 years in broadcasting, and
that's brutal. That's
it's
brutal and cold, but everything happens for a reason.
And it's the nature of the industry. Like I'd seen it done. I just had never. I don't know. I just thought we'd have. It
happens to other people. It never happens to me.
Right? We'd have an adult conversation at some point about it. I thought. Right.
Well, especially in a radio communications.
Right.
Entity, you would think
Christian
communication.
Show, communication, all of that, right?
Anyway,
but
I got nothing on that one.
I took that I think it was a Wednesday. Took the next couple of days to invest in some Ben & Jerry's and Netflix.
Good for you.
Right?
What flavor?
Oh, all of them. It's a chunky
monkey?
Yes.
You know what? I like that because of the name.
I know. Just their names. Just their names are fun, right? I had thought that, all right, I need to now go find another studio. But over the weekend, decided that when one door closes,
a portal opens.
Something else is opening. And so about that same day that you were liberating, I also was liberating and decided not to stay in radio, to retire. That's my word. I like it better than they fired me, because I have a role to play in that.
Repurpose.
Right. Nope. So I tell people I retired a year ago. It's been about almost.
And then they look at you because you're so young.
I'm so young.
And they're like,
right.
What's your secret?
But 10 years in broadcasting, it was a good career for me.
Right.
Right. And I think
and it's fun, isn't it?
I loved it. I still love it. You get to meet the greatest people. It's a wonderful experience. Invited to all the best parties, and I loved it. It was my dream job. And from the day, my very first ever time in the studio, I took my headphones off and thought, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I'm in a box, like in a private little space, talking, it's super organized.
Right.
I used up all my skills. And even though it was somewhat professional speaking, it really wasn't. Because I'm sitting, having a conversation, right? Most of them dialed in. And you can't really see your audience. It was the perfect place for me. It's super comfortable. I was in my element. But giving this option to rebrand myself and redefine myself at the same time, my 2 oldest daughters, my twin daughters, that month of April, they decided they were going to move to Florida. So from Colorado to Florida to go work for Disney, and we'd had a whole company that was really supported by the radio show that supported small business owners, decided to shut that down. I mean, really, my whole world, just the bottom fell out, right? No, my career's gone, my company's gone, my children are gone, like, everything just bottomed out.
Right, and sadly, that happens to so many people, especially these days. It's no longer, get good grades and go into good school, go to college, get a degree, blah, 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 get a good job, and then you retire from the job. That myth it's a myth now.
It is a myth.
It doesn't happen anymore. You're lucky if you're kept for 2, 5, maybe 10 years.
Right? 10 years was a long
10 years is a long, yeah. But these days, there's no security anymore.
No.
There's no security anymore.
No, and there wasn't there, and so, yeah, it forced me to be brave, right? To be brave, to redefine myself as 48 years old.
You mean get out of the comfort zone, get out of the box and jump?
And I did. I decided I was going to travel and rebrand. One of the things, because I was so involved in the business community in Denver, and I had a business partner. I'd gone to a chamber event, and I had this conversation. You know, somebody introduced me. This is Angel. She hosts a radio show. I'm like, well, no, we're not on the radio anymore. And they're like, oh. And so, you know, what are you doing now? And what is Eric doing? And what's the show? And everybody's so sad. And I had that conversation like 3 times in 20 minutes at a networking event. And I had to go home, and I told my husband,
it's draining, isn't it?
Like, I have to get out of town. I can't stay here and have that conversation over
One
and
more
over
time.
again.
You're right.
And so we went up to the mountains, and I spent a weekend. I created a whole new program. I created a signature talk, and, you know, kind of outlined who I was going to be. And
See, that's what helps to be organized. It's like, give me some of that.
Right.
That's like, I really could use some of that.
I was on the floor. I had all my papers, and I'm moving them around, and I'm like, okay. And so linear, like, this is it. And
see, I can see it, but no. Anyway,
I need it simple. I need it simple. But for me, my very first time, so when I was hired by this public speaker, it was Eric, who ended up becoming my co-host and my business partner later on. We did a presentation, and he said, Angel, I wrote his presentation for him, and he says, I want you to help present it. And I was not a public speaker, right? So I wrote, word for word, 12 pages.
Oh, wow.
And I handed it to him and said, this is our 45-minute presentation. He's like, Angel, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to.
Right.
Like, am I going to be able to have a conversation? Am I going to remember my words? I've got all this good stuff in here. I won't have any way to remember it. And so there I am in front of the room with my stack of papers, visibly shaking. I mean, you could see it. I could see it. And the more it shook, the more nervous I got. I was sweating. And I had a cute little jacket like this, but I couldn't take it off because I'd sweat out on the inside. It was a July where they shut the air conditioning off after hours. I mean, I was a wreck, and I tell people that story to say I didn't have this gift. I didn't start out feeling really comfortable standing in front of people and speaking, and they think, well, you were on the radio, public speaking's easy for you. It has never been easy for me.
There's a difference. You know, having the microphone, having a camera, or being on stage. I mean, those are total different animals.
You said it, sister.
Total different animals.
Yes.
It's like, you know, you might be comfortable with one. It doesn't mean you're comfortable with the others.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
But kudos for you for, like, it's like, I can do this. I will do this.
I'm gonna die trying. That's for sure. And so along the way, I've published some books. I just published my 11th book, which I'm going to gift to you. I brought you a copy.
Thank you.
And it really, this 11th book really talks about this last year of how I transitioned, rebranded, took myself and put myself in what has not been my most comfortable, but yet has been my most fulfilling. Mm-hmm. I get to travel with my husband. I get to serve. I get to, and I am, and everybody tells me, Angel, you're going to get so tired of traveling. Right? You're going to hate it. And I'm sure that there will come that time.
Rumors. The lies, vicious lies. Don't listen to that.
But I mean, we got to go to London, and I've been in Mexico. I mean, we're seeing so many fabulous places. And now my husband is selling his company so he can travel with me.
Nice.
All 3 of my kids work for Disney in Orlando, and so every time I get an opportunity to speak down there, we go and visit the kids. Mm-hmm. And yeah, but I was a wreck. I mean, I'm a child that, you know, was not wanted and was told not to fulfill her pregnancy. A 15-year-old single woman who ended up divorced, ended up homeless, super shy. You know, not without my challenges for sure, to now having this opportunity to just inspire and let people know, like, it doesn't have to be perfect.
No, but here's the thing, and it doesn't. It's that you know, that paralysis. We're like, oh my God, once I have all my ducks in a row, then I launch. It's never going to be perfect. Mm-hmm. It is just go for it and follow your heart. because and stop shooting yourself. I mean, for me, that was the biggest thing. It's like once I decided to stop shooting myself and doing all the things that I thought, you know, by society was proper and all that junk. It's like when I
being a mortgage broker is respectable, career, professional.
No. Right, but it was like I was miserable. I was miserable every step of the way. I mean, it was because, so when Jeff proposed to me, I told him, I said, if you want kids, make sure you can afford for me to stay home. Because I was,
Seems fair.
you know, I mean, my mother was 17, I was, long story, it's in my book. But, so so I decided, you know, if I ever have kids, I want to be home for them. So I was home for 18 years. You know, I was being the good army wife and the mom and this and da. And I enjoyed that, but it wasn't me. I mean, it wasn't. Because I always knew that there's a bigger purpose here for me. There's something. And I knew at some point I need to share my story, not because for me, but for others. To give them hope. And like Lisa Nichols says, your story isn't yours to keep. Right?
Love her.
Right?
Yes.
When I have chills, oh my gosh. So the first time I heard this, I'm like, huh? I really like, oh my gosh. You know, so, but I always knew that it needed to come out. And at I mean, we're talking decades ago. I was like, well, I write a book. Yeah, I write a book. Maybe I do some speaking. And I'm thinking, who are you kidding? You ain't speaking. Because I was like, meh. You know, that was not my thing.
I hear you.
So, but what's really cool is like once you follow your heart, what really excites you, whatever that is, and for most people is we want to help other people. Because it is so rewarding and fulfilling. You know, it's like if you can help somebody be better, be more, and see a brighter side in life, and step into their gift, into their power, that is just so incredible.
It lights you up, it gets you out of bed in the morning, right? I remember hearing a kid, Caleb Maddox, he was 12, and he says if things aren't going good, do good. Because when you do something good for somebody else, it changes everything. And so many people are walking around not happy in a job they don't like, in a relationship they don't like, in a situation they don't like.
But it's a comfort zone.
It's familiar.
It's familiar, and you know, and I've been there. You know, in my dark days, it's like I was afraid to step out. I was afraid of the unknown because even though I was extremely miserable and I was in pain physically, emotionally, I knew how to navigate within to minimize the trauma and the pain and everything. And that was way better than stepping out and the unknown and what might happen.
But look at you now. Right?
I know, right?
Look at you now. I think sometimes too, like we do things, you know, and maybe it didn't work out, but for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Right? You learned something came out of that, or at the very least, you know, I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
And that's powerful information.
Very much so. And I always talk about, you know, come from a place of love and gratitude. Because there's always something to be grateful for.
Always.
And sometimes it is just a lesson what not to do.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, that was stupid. I ain't doing that again.
Right. And we talked about, you know, before the camera came on about, you know, kind of there's light and dark in all of us. Yeah. Right? And the things that we've gone through and some of the challenges or the setbacks, you know, they define who we are. When I think about my mom and what she went through, and you know, my dad, when I was a teenager, went back out to sea. He was on a ship for months at a time, no communication. It was before cell phones. She's practically a single mom again.
The good old days.
I know. But you know, the things that I went through have taught me how to be compassionate and how to be generous and how to care for other people, to be independent and you know, and to really to step out and to be braver. She's one of the most brave women I know, but because she's my mom, like when I hit those stages, like when I was 30, and I'm realizing she was 30, living in a town without her husband, first time they were home, like all of this stuff that she went through. And when I was 30, thought, oh my gosh, she was amazing that she put herself into that space.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when my daughters turned 23, and I thought, when I was your age, I was married and had 2 kids, and that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like incredible, the legacy and the generational gap. But we were not meant to do this alone. We were not meant to be unhappy. And I don't know where we bought this lie that we have to be miserable.
Because I call it the propaganda.
Right?
Yeah. Because my thing is, it's like life boils down to 5 core things for me.
Okay.
And I talk about that. So if when you peel the onion back, in any belief, any religion, in anything, when you peel it back all the way to the core, 5 things. Do good, be good, love, be loved, be happy.
Oh, right. Those are good pillars to stand on, right? In every situation.
And it doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter what your belief system is, but those are the 5 main things to strive for. It's like do good, be good, love, be loved, and be happy.
Right.
And it's simple.
It is, and you think when you lay your head down at night, right, today, did I do good, right? Was I good? Was I, did I love? Was I lovable? Was I
Did
happy?
I do my best?
Right?
And
in the morning, to set that intention.
Exactly.
Again.
It's powerful. It is so powerful beyond. I mean, there's days when I wake up and I'm like, oh my, help me. Where's the caffeine drip? But it's like,
powered by caffeine, right?
Right here, And, but then it's like, wow, thank you for another day. And then, of course, there's Mr. Slobberhead. He was like, hello, I'm so happy to see you.
And dogs live that life.
Oh my gosh,
right? Like
absolutely.
They are the model for that.
Absolutely.
Right?
But it's like you make the conscious decision. I am happy. I will have a good day. And, I mean, stuff still happens. But once you have that mindset, and that's all it is, it's a mindset.
It is.
So, get your shift together.
This is why she's not on traditional radio. The FCC would be going, what'd she say? What'd she say? Do we need to mute that?
Shift.
Shift.
Nothing wrong with shift. Yeah. I tell people, I say, so what do? I said, I help people get their shift together so they can let happiness determine their success. They're like, oh!
That's a good tagline.
So you've been to the Gary Barnes.
I have been.
Mastermind.
Yes.
My 3 words I came up with this weekend, it just popped into me. To who I am for like the quick thing. I'm the queen of shift.
The queen of shift. That, right? Sticky, memorable. Anytime you hear somebody dealing with some shift in their life, you
right?
Perfect.
So that I came up with that. I was like, I feel so like genius though. But anyway, but no, guys, seriously. I mean, if you're not happy where you're at, take some inventory, figure out what it is you want. And sadly, most people don't know what they want, but they can rattle down exactly what they don't want.
It's a good place to start.
It's a great place to start. Write down what you don't want. So take a piece of paper, make a line down the middle. On one side, on top you write like, I want and I don't want. And then if you don't know what you want, okay, start on the don't want and write everything down that you don't want. And now on the other side, you can write the opposite. Because once you write down what you don't want,
you can see the opposite.
You can see the opposite.
An exercise. I was at a different event recently, and they were talking about journaling, kind of your fears and your like those negative thoughts and your fears and all. And I thought, well, I've never done that because I never wanted to give power to those negative thoughts, right? I thought in my mind, if I wrote it down, I was feeding it, right?
Right.
But I did the exercise, where I'm scared and I'm afraid, and am I a fraud? Will this work? Am I enough? And I'm writing all this down, and and it's all these negative issues that I'm having. But then about 3/4 of the way down, it shifted. It was like, I am enough. I mean, I have been here. My
That's
story,
powerful stuff.
right? My story and my experience, and it didn't give power to the negative. It opened up, and I was like, okay, that's over there.
And that's what it does. But you have to start. And if you don't know what you want, and the good stuff that you should believe about yourself, write it down. And start down with the negative and with what you don't want.
Yeah.
And then, because now it's open. Now you're open, and now the juices can flow. And what I like is when you do it on each side, because now you can cut it in half, and I burn the side that I don't want and release that.
I love that. I love that.
And then I focus on what I do want.
Yes.
Because when you physically release it, just shredding it, no. Because it can be taped back together.
Oh,
Burn it, baby, burn it. You know? But seriously, when you burn it, and it's like, and then what I do too is before I burn the negative stuff, okay, I go down line by line and I say thank you, and I'm grateful, and I release it with love.
Beautiful.
Because that's really where the healing part comes in. Because if you don't acknowledge it, because there's without dark there's no light.
And I think that's where I was.
So,
like if I don't acknowledge it, my thought was if I don't acknowledge it, then it doesn't exist, but it does.
It does. And if you don't deal with it, it festers.
Yes.
And it grows. And because it's energy. And if we don't deal with our negative emotions, negative feelings, it manifests as disease within the body, with the pains and I mean, there's a whole other show on that one. There's actually a book I have. It's called Feelings Buried Alive, Never Die. And a friend of mine said, you should take a look. You should get that book. I'm like, nah, you know. But I got it, and it's like, oh, snap. Oh, I got to deal with that. It's like, oh man, and that and.
Right? We do. We have to deal with our stuff, but that doesn't mean that we have to post it out on social media, that we have to live there and wallow in it.
Well, because now you give it, if you put it out on social media, it's like that poor me, you're stuck in victimhood. And actually when I speak, part depends on my audience, but part of it is from victim to victory, and I start out with the upside of victimhood.
The upside of victimhood. That's
the upside of victimhood. I know. Yeah. And every time I get this, people are like, what? And then when I start telling, some just a few things, their jaws drop, their eyes got bigger, and they're like, oh boy. There's a reason you're holding on to whatever you're holding on to, because you're getting something out of it, and that's the upside. And of course I talk about the downside too, and at the very end on the downside is you're giving away all of your power.
Do you do retreats?
Not yet.
Not yet? Right? I mean, that would be very powerful.
Let's talk about that after the show.
Retreats, right?
But because I've been there. I've been knee deep in, I mean, whatever I talk about, I've lived through it.
Yes.
You know, and I had to go through these hard lessons, and they're tough. They're tough, and there's still some remnants that I have to work through, even now. You know, but I mean, it is so amazing. But once you have that awareness, and you take the responsibility, whoo, I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to go back there. You know, but I mean, it is very powerful. But always, no matter how bad or whatever, always come from a place of love and gratitude, because it just shifts everything. And because now, the bad and the negative has no more power. Because if you love on it, how can it? Because love and hate do not exist on the same in the same moment.
You bet.
It does not exist in the same space, in the same time, in the same moment.
I used to teach customer service, and we would do these trainings for these call centers. And if you smile, you cannot be angry.
Yep.
While smiling.
Yes.
You can try and say, "I'm really angry." But you cannot be angry while you are smiling. No,
you can't.
Love and hate do not reside in the same space.
They do not. They do not. So always come from a place of love and gratitude.
Yes.
And because I was in a very angry, miserable place for a long time, you know. But once that shifted, you know, and I talk about it in my book on the gratitude thing. So, is it gratitude? No, mindset. And the mindset. Anyway, I talk about a 10-day mental diet.
Ooh.
I changed. You can do 2 days. I dare you to do 2 days. I'm in my 3rd year. Just saying. And people look at me like, what? It's a 10-day, 2-day, whatever, or 1 day. Try 1 day. I dare you. Try 1 day. If you can do 1 day, bless you.
Excuse me.
I'm tired. So if you can do 1 day, you're my new hero. So
what
so this is how it works. The 10-day mental diet. So on whatever many days diet. So when you're on a food diet, you pay attention to what you eat.
Yes.
Okay. On the mental diet, so for 10 days or however many days, no negative thoughts.
Okay.
No negative talk, no negative, period. Oh,
Excuse me.
That's on you, Mo.
Sorry.
So, no negative thoughts, no negative words, no negative anything. Okay? As soon as you catch it, You stop in your tracks, you don't analyze it, nothing, you just stop and you redirect. And I usually use that example when you're driving, because everybody's driving, and there's this one person that cuts you off. Right?
Right.
And what do?
We get angry.
We unleash all our fury on that one.
Yeah.
Like, and we go on and on and on. They don't care, they're long gone.
Yeah.
But we're still holding on to that anger that really has nothing to do with that person.
And they probably didn't even cut you off on purpose, right? They
Exactly.
but yet we...
Right. But because all that anger that has been festering for so long and that we suppressed, now because we're in our car and the windows are closed, you know, we feel safe to unleash all of that fury and we stay there. Stop. Redirect. Don't worry about that one. Let that one go. Be grateful for all the others around you.
Okay.
Your diet starts over.
Oh, got to start again.
That's why I'm in my third year, because I'm driving every day. But now it's like in the beginning I did the same thing, you know, and now it's just like, you need love in your life and I'm sending it to you right now. But still my diet starts over.
I need love in my life right now.
But you see what I'm saying?
I can picture that.
Yeah. But what that does, because now you have that awareness, just with the food.
Yeah.
Now you have that awareness. And over time, you see that shift. And I started cutting out more and more of the negativity. I don't even watch the news. I might skim through the headlines. I might not.
Yeah, I'm not a news watcher. I get my news from Twitter.
You know, but I mean, and I'm really, like even with Facebook, when I go through my feed, if I see negative people posting just hell, I don't unfriend them, but I unfollow them. Because I don't want that junk in my feed.
We don't need that. Yeah,
it does nothing. It does nothing. Yes. Except it feeds your victimhood.
Absolutely.
It does nothing for me.
Right.
It feeds your victimhood.
But you get to control that. And so you've got behaviors that you put in place, you know, when this stuff happens. Yep. And we have to have a plan. Like when I'm triggered, what am I going to do?
Exactly.
Because I will be triggered.
Yes.
And you know what your triggers are. So you have to have a plan. When that happens, this is what I'm going to shift it in. Any bad habit, you can't just stop the bad habit. You have to replace it with something different.
Right. It's like, you know, when you delete a program on your computer, you know, like a virus or something, now you can fill it with something positive.
Yes. Yes.
And that's really what that is. It's just programming. It's what we make it. It has no value. It just is. It's whatever we give it.
That is profound.
I smart that way.
You are. It has only the value that we give it, because it really is neutral.
And it has to do because, you know, I repeat myself so much because it's important that people get the reflection without is a reflection from within. So we see the world through our filters, through our beliefs, and through whatever's going on within us.
Yes.
We see in others, and there's something we don't like about us, we see it amplified in the others. And they tick us off to no end.
Right? And the thing that ticks us off the most about somebody else is usually our own issues that we, behaviors that we have in ourselves.
But see, it's so much easier to be mad at that other person and like unleash it on that person and then take responsibility. But anyway, that's a whole, I can talk this stuff all day long, but we're like way over the half hour.
I know,
but
you need a 2-hour talk show.
I know, for some people it's like, wow. And because I think it's just important information for people to get, because it's not rocket science, it's not hard. It is so simple. It really is so simple, but you have to have the awareness. And most people run on autopilot. They're just reacting. So you have to have that awareness, and you have to take responsibility. Ooh, did I say the ugly R word? But no, I mean, it's your responsibility, because nobody can make you angry. Nobody can make you hate. Nobody can make you anything. That's your decision in that very moment.
Yes.
You choose to be happy, to be angry, to be frustrated, to be whatever. It's a choice.
It is a choice. It is a choice.
And it's the choice you make in this very moment. But in order to make the choice, you have to be aware and not go on autopilot and just react.
All right. We all have our homework to do. Right?
Right.
I have a 12-hour diet that I'll start with.
12 hours is good.
Okay.
You'd be driving back?
I am. I'm driving back. We'll see if it lasts an hour and a half.
Text me. But seriously, I mean, it is really, you know, and it's not just with driving, because I know when I say I use the driving as an example, because now everybody's just focused on when they're driving, but it's really everything. It's like the way you talk to yourself. And I've asked that question before. Would you be offended if somebody would talk to you the way you talk to yourself?
But how we talk to our kids and how we talk to our, you know, people that are closest to us, because they're around us, we tend to be a little shorter than if we had company over, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. You know, when talking to yourself, it's like, oh, stupid. Well, your diet starts over. Mm. It's those things. Yeah. You know, anything that's not coming from love and light and from gratitude. And
are you in here?
Are you getting your shift together?
Definitely. Shift happens.
But you, does that make sense?
It does. It does.
And because we were just not paying attention, because we're so programmed to just react. Yes. And not really pay attention what's coming out. And I still do it. That's why I'm in my third, I don't even know where I'm at. But I started over many times. But you get to. I get to. Right?
We get to. Every day is a new day.
Exactly.
And every moment is a new moment. We don't have to wait until tomorrow. We don't have to wait. We can change right now.
Right. Exactly. If you don't like the direction you're going, change. You're the author of your own story.
Yes.
You create your story.
Yes.
As I go, this is stupid. I'm not going to finish this book. Start a new one.
Right.
You know, and it's fun. It's so much fun. So, but anyway, we're like way over. Good thing you can pause, walk away, and come back on YouTube. So.
Well, this has been delightful.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming, for sharing your story and sharing you. And I think you're like, oh, I think you're amazing. So thank you so much. And I will put your contact info in the credits.
Sounds great.
And we your books and all that information and stuff. So, you guys, okay, follow your heart. Come from love and light. Come from place of gratitude always. Okay, have a good one. Be happy, be kind, be love. Take care. Bye.